we're here with the Stanley Fatmax multi-tool in its stylish expanded polypropylene case. Let's give that a whirl for you. Got a bit of instructions on here. But yeah, anyway, without further ado, let's pop this bad boy open and give it a test drive. So, right, are you zoomed in? You ready? Here we go, the Stanley Fatmax. So we'll just quickly run through what we've got in the box. We've got our Stanley Fatmax tool with our 4 amp battery inside. And we actually cracked that battery open and we've uncovered that there's Samsung cells inside, which are really good quality. So we've got our dust extraction tube hooked up to our sanding attachment. So it comes with a selection of sanding discs. You've got 80 grit, 100 grit, 240 if you want to get it super smooth. So yeah, all your standard sanding pads there. Comes with a grout cutter, so you can cut down in between your tiles and clean out your grout if you wanted to re-grout it. Or what I've used these for before is if you have a leaky pipe behind a bathroom wall that's tiled, you can actually cut out the grout, lift the tiling out and the plasterboard and get behind to fix your pipe work. So they're a handy tool. And what have we got in here? And you've also got a wood and metal cutter and a wood and plastic cutter. So you've pretty much got all your material substrates covered there. We're just going to attempt to cut through some of these nails and we'll just equip it with the wood and metal blade. So we'll put that in. Look at that, no tools. Right, here we go. 4 nails. We'll see how quick we can cut through them. Wow, that was fast. I have another multi-tool and it would cut through those nails nowhere near as quick as that. And now we're just going to do a very common task that, in fact, this is what I use my multi-tool for most often during my day job as a joiner, is cutting through skirting boards in awkward places. Well, we've got these in quite an easy place and we're just going to see how well it can cut through the MDF skirting board and the pine skirting board. Right, with no further ado, here we go. So that was the MDF, and I'll just show you. As you can see, the wood blades left a nice clean cut there along that edge. I think it helps with this blade's quite thin, so you can cut fairly accurately along your skirting board with it, and it leaves a nice finished edge. Obviously you wouldn't see this back edge, but that front edge is pretty clean. So now we'll try it again on the pine skirting board and just see if that's any easier. Again, same for the pine skirting board. It's left a really nice edge there and cut through it really well. So yeah, passes the skirting board test. So we've just got a little offcut here of some hardwood parquet flooring we did. I mean, ultimately this is probably, you know, the toughest test cutting through wood that your multi-tool will be subjected to. So basically for me, if you can cut through hardwood in a reasonable length of time, then your multi-tool's obviously fit for purpose. So here we go, let's see how it gets on. And this is about 20mm thick, so we'll go through this ash and see what damage it can do. So yeah, as you can see, again, it cut through this ash parquet flooring with no problem. So yeah, if you were laying a floor and you need to cut your parquet flooring back near your skirting boards, then your Stanley Fatmax would easily be able to do the job. Fatmax. Let's talk sanding. So we've got our Stanley Fatmax multi-tool here. It's currently got the grout bit in, but we're not bothered about that, so we can drop that out. It looked a lot cooler in my head, but there you go. The thing we're here to talk about is this sanding attachment. So it's got multiple holes in the bottom to allow the air to be sucked through the base of the sanding pad, and then it connects up to this little hose here. We're only using like we've borrowed my mum's vacuum, so we've had to sort of make our own connection with masking tape. But if you've got a different Hoover, it might well connect up first time without having to tape it up. But anyway, as long as you get a good seal and you get a good connection, it should work. So I'm just going to do a quick test to see if there is actually any suction coming through these holes. So we'll see how this goes. I can feel some suction there, so we'll just test it. There you go. Stanley Fatmax, 3 years warranty. So you can see that works pretty well. So now we've proved the concept. We're just going to put this tool into our Stanley Fatmax multi-tool and get some sanding done. We've got our test piece. This is just some ash flooring with some chalk paint on top, and we're just going to see how well the Stanley Fatmax can sand it off. So line our pad up. And I just want to show you how quick this blade changes. So there you go, you've been doing some grouting, and then just out with that one, in with that one. That's how easy it is. So we'll just pop a battery in, vacuum on, extraction. You can see how well it sanded that up, and there is absolutely no dust. You can't see any dust on the workpiece. You can't see any, well, only the old dust that was there on the bench. But yeah, it definitely sucked up the dust through these little holes into the tube and away into the vacuum. So yeah, that passes the test in my book. We've got our two different styles of cutter here. We've got this one comes with the Stanley Fatmax. This is our grout cutter, and you can see it comes with a hollow here, so that the tool can, do you want to zoom in a bit? So that as you connect this up, it slots over the spindle and then clamps tightly, which is a brilliant way of doing it. Whereas some of these different types of blade you can get, these ones are obviously, fully circular, there's no cutout. So with these, you have to sort of slot them onto the tool. So I'm just going to show you how you can change your Stanley Fatmax from the quick release to accommodate these blades. So it comes with these little attachments. So all you have to do is This is shaped the same as this little collar here. So you just put that on there like that. And these little indicators here line up with your blade. You put that on there. Then you take your locking screw, tighten that up. And then you get your Allen key. And then that locks it securely in place. And again, you can loosen this off and change the angle to wherever you want it to be. So this means you can use your old cutters in your new Stanley Fatmax tool. If you've got a load of the older style cutters kicking about, you can still use them up before you switch on to the sort of newer slotted cutters. Another thing we liked about this Stanley Fatmax is the variable speed adjuster, and you can hear that there. There's a nice little positive click when you lock it in. It seems to have a half click and then a full click, so you can go 4.5, 5, 5.5, 6. So yeah, that's really good. And it almost sounds like you're cracking a safe. You go 5, 2, 7. There you go, magic. So one important thing to consider, obviously, is the price. This doesn't necessarily matter as much if you're a professional and using tools for work. You can often justify an expensive price tag. But if you're a sort of DIY enthusiast or you're kind of an entry-level professional, then cost is obviously very important because you're just starting out. And sort of we've realised that Stanley Fatmax seems to be very good value for money. They've got a lot of features taken from the sort of professional tools, and they've sort of incorporated them into their sort of, you know, lower budget range. They've got lots of offers on. You know, if you keep your eyes peeled, you can often get a really good offer on these tools. I mean, we managed to find a brushless impact driver, brushless combi drill, 2 batteries and the charger for £200. Well, you know, you're never going to find as good a deal as that. If you were looking at a Makita or a DeWalt or a Milwaukee, you know, you'd end up paying twice as much. So if you're looking to invest in a tool platform for the long run, then I'd definitely consider Stanley Fatmax fit for the task.